I very often get the question, what's my XRP exit strategy? So in this video, I'm going to be uncovering what's my cash out plan for XRP, when I am planning to cash out and take some profits. That's a question I get on a weekly basis. It's not a financial advice, that's just my raw strategy. It's not really a science behind it, but that's just the way I have been playing this game. Well, the first level I'm taking profits is definitely at $10. I bought large sums of XRP below 20 cents, at 50 cents, $1, so I accumulated plenty of XRP. I know everyone has different financial needs, so you should tailor that according to your needs. And most importantly, that also goes according to your age. I don't expect someone who is 75 years old to have the same patience as myself, as I am just on my 20s. So the first level I am taking profits is at $10. A portion of that is going to go for the XRP yachting party. So drop your name in the comments. I'm going to be throwing a huge yachting party at Mykonos. We also have to enjoy life. It's not only about working hard. As you know, I have been locked in for the past years. However, the reality is that I only plan to sell 10% of my XRP holdings. Probably 3 or 4% is going to be at $10. And that's the bag that I keep at exchanges. So here's another advice for you: keep your XRP in cold wallets. So basically, I have 90% of my XRP in cold wallets. I have multiple XRP addresses and I have multiple cold wallets just for safety reasons. So when XRP hits $10, I'm going to probably sell 3 to 4%. Let's go to funding the XRP yachting party. And most importantly, I'm also planning to buy some extra real estate. That's my way to diversify my profits. I also like to own real estate. I have been buying real estate in Greece. I didn't cash out on XRP so far. In other cryptocurrencies allowed me to own properties in Greece. Now, the second level I am aiming to take profits is at $50, and that's probably going to take another 3 or 4%. So that takes me to 8% of my bags until there. And then when XRP hits $100, I plan to sell another 2%. So if you sell just 1,000 XRP at $100, that's $100,000. So I always like to take out my initial investment. I don't care if it's XRP. That's my investment strategy. I always take out the initial investments. Cashing out 10% of my XRP bag is not going to hurt my long-term strategy. And it's just getting dark here, but my final strategy here is not selling XRP, it's actually lend XRP to the banks when regulation is in place. That's going to happen through lending platforms and smart contracts. And you're going to receive rewards in real stablecoin, fiat currencies, and even on XRP. So there's not really a big reason for why you should be getting rid of your XRP when regulation is not fully in place yet. So I think it's a dumb move to cash out your XRPs right now. I know you have different financial needs, but as I said, I'm just cashing out 10% of my bags. That's the bags that are on exchanges. I also trade this bag. I try to always be increasing my XRPs. So I keep actively trading this 10% bag. That's why I check on XRP's price so often. And that also doesn't mess me up psychologically. If something bad happens and I lose 10%, well, that happens. I know there is always a risk associated with exchanges, but I truly don't recommend you to hold XRP on exchanges. You have a 10% for cashing out, that absolutely works, but if you hold more than 10%, I think that messes you up. At least for me, I would not be sleeping well at night, knowing that all my XRPs, or actually a substantial part of my bag, would be sitting on centralized exchanges. So just to clarify, 10%, that's it. I think that's a fair amount. Enables you to cash out your initial gains at different levels. That's just my plan. I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Don't.